as if this weekend, in terms of sports, couldn't get big enough, it's UFC 274, and who better to come on? He kicked ass. Last time he was on the show, Leo, aka the BTV Greek. He's got to be on cloud nine because the Celtics, got to win. It's 1-1. How you doing today, my man?
Man, I'm living the dream. I'm getting ready for tomorrow. It's going to be a beautiful evening. All right, we have the prelims in UFC, but I'm not going to watch them because I have to watch my baby boy Jason Tatum propel us to another win in Game 3. Celtics in 5. It's back on. Get ready for it, baby. But after that, we got a pretty meh UFC 274 card to get excited about.
I mean, for your capping purposes, the Bucks are 5-0 ATS in games I've attended this year. Just saying.
Oh, are you going to be in the building?
I'm going to be in the building, man. I'm going to be there. As it looks right now, I'll be there. I don't know. Stuff can change. I was supposed to be in Kentucky this weekend, but that changed. So
yeah, that seems to be a theme at BTV because, I mean, I know I had somebody – or Blackjack was supposed to be in Kentucky, and next thing you know, flights are getting canceled left and right, and he didn't actually end up making the trip. And you too? Flight got canceled or what?
I'll tell you what. I've gone to the Derby a couple of times, and I just don't like being in the rain.
Yeah.
I don't – you know what I mean? Like I'm kind of at that point. I've been there, done that. Done it once, done it twice, done it 3 times. So I just don't want to be in the rain. We have, like you said, like we were talking off air. Interesting card. There's some fights where you're just kind of like, you know what I mean? Like, why is this fight even happening? Why is it even on the main card? But let's jump right into it. My first fight, undercard, I'm going Tracy Tortes, decision plus 155. I feel she has a huge wrestling advantage. And then if Gata is able to try to use her to jiu-jitsu to get her to try to choke her out, get in submission, I just trust Tortes, who has a huge wrestling advantage and who is 9-0-1. That means she doesn't know how to lose. She's going to be able to figure it out. She's going to be able to grind her way out of a submission attempt, and she's going to be able to wrestle her way to a victory. I got the decision plus 155.
Yeah, I like that. I think the decisions are going to be a big trend so far in this card. And this is one of those cards where it kind of feels like it would be a lot more exciting if it happened 3 years ago. There are definitely a few fights on here where if it happened 3 years ago, I'd be more fired up. But my first play is going to come on the early prelims, actually. It's going to be Ariane Cardinalosi. She's an underdog. She's plus 150. I think she's a really live dog here. She's facing off against Lupita. 7 of her last 9 fights have gone the distance. She's shown the inability to finish fights. Cardinalosi, I struggle pronouncing her name, so I'm just going to call her Cerezo because that's her nickname. Cerezo.
Now you know how I feel. Now you legitimately know how I feel when I do these, man.
Listen, dude, I'm struggling with an actual different name here. Like you struggle with like Williams.
I'm bad. I'll be the first to admit I'm awful at names.
I'm just messing. But yeah, no, Cardinalosi, again, Cerezo. She has 3 UFC fights under her belt. She's looked good in all 3. She ended up losing one of them due to a doctor's stoppage. She got a bad cut. It was a tough one for her to lose. But after that, she bounced back with a nice KO and a submission win. She can kind of do a lot of everything. Lupita's lost, 2 of her last 4 fights. And Cardinalosi, while it has been out of the UFC in some of those minor divisions, 9 of her 14 wins have been by knockout. So she has the knockout ability. I think she's going to come out swinging here. I'm going to take her on the money line, but I really don't hate the knockout play either.
Yeah, like we talked about it last time. I love these little props, how to win, just because you can get value on them. And I really feel that if we did a great job, we both hit a plus 200 bets last time. And I really feel like you can find the value. So I like that a lot. Next play, I'm going to the main card. I tried to dig on these undercards. I just couldn't find anything that was sticking out. I'm going with Michael Chandler by decision, plus 250 against Ferguson. There's this old saying, Father Time is undefeated. And we're seeing that with Ferguson. He only has 34 significant strikes in his last 2 fights. He just hasn't been the same fighter since the Gaethje fight. But don't get me wrong, Chandler's got some big inefficiencies on defense that Ferguson was 3 fights ago. I'd be on Ferguson here as a dog, but I just don't trust him with what he's showing as Father Time has deteriorated his abilities to take advantage of that. I just expect Chandler to get to the ground and just kind of grind his way out to the victory, because at the end of the day, both these two are on a losing streak and they need this fight. So because if you lose 3 in a row in the UFC, Uncle Dana's going to look to kick you out. Yeah. He's going to look to release you. So I expect him to grind it out, not take too many chances. And the thing that blew my mind the most, would you believe that if I would have told you like 3 years ago, Tony Ferguson would be a biggest dog on the 274 card? Would you believe me?
Yeah, seriously, it's ridiculous. It's crazy how far he's fallen after just a couple losses.
He's like the James Harden of UFC.
Oh, that's aggressive. You know what I mean? I hate doing that to the guy too. Like, that's a real tough comparison, dude. But no, I absolutely love that play. That's actually one of my favorite plays as well. More importantly, Ferguson's a real tough son of a bitch. Like, he's really hard to knock out. 4 of his 6 losses have come by decision. He's only been knocked out once. I really think that's Michael Chandler's fight to lose. And again, you're basically betting on Ferguson's toughness to get through the entire fight. But I absolutely love that play. I am going to go to the main card with you. I'm going to come back for my favorite pick because my favorite pick is on the prelim. But one of my favorite picks on the main card is going to be Rua and Osp. I have a bunch of different plays. I'll be completely upfront with you. I have 3 different plays in this fight. My favorite one is going to be the over 1.5. You got to pay a little bit of juice at -130. But listen, Osp has lost 5 of his last 7 fights. Rua has shown the ability previously to knock people out, but he hasn't done it recently. Okay. Osp has gone over 1.5 rounds in 6 of his last 7 fights. Rua has gone over 1.5 in 4 straight fights. I think Rua is going to be a live dog. I'm going to talk a lot more about this fight on our breakdown for BTV. It's going to be me, you, and Kyle. You guys can check that out. Podcast, all that stuff tomorrow at BTV Bets. Make sure you guys follow that on Twitter. But for this one, my favorite play of this fight is the over 1.5 at -140. I think it's a dunk.
This fight, to me, just has that feel of 2 guys over the hill just looking like they shouldn't be in the ring. The octagon. That, like, I love this play a lot. I think it's going to be an ugly fight. I think it's going to go to decision. I love that play a lot. My next play, going to the co-main event. My girl, she's your girl too. Thug Rose, decision +180. You look at this, you have to understand that she's gotten better with her defense. I know Esperanza leads the division in takedowns, but when you just look at Thug Rose's last 2 fights against Andrade and Zhang, that was pretty good pronouncing names, I must say. She was able to stop the takedowns. And when Zhang was able to get her to the ground, she was able to scramble or position herself against the cage to escape any danger. Esperanza isn't as good a striker as those previous 2 fighters she has. So that's one less thing Rose has to worry about. I think she's going to control the distance. She's just going to box her way to a win. I don't think she's going to be able to knock out Esparza just because she's going to want to take the distance just to respect the takedown game. I think she's just going to outbox and be able to point her way to a decision victory at +180.
Yeah, you love her.
That's my girl, dude. That's my girl, dude.
I actually like that play a lot too. I think that fight is going to go the distance. Rose should win that fight, so I do see a lot of value in that +180. I'm right there with you. My last play is probably my favorite play on this entire card, and it's going to be the most boring fight of this entire card. It's going to be Norma Dumont to win by decision at even money. It's on the prelims. This fight is going to suck. If you don't have money on it, don't watch it. It's going to be boring. Okay. That being said, Norma Dumont should win this fight. She is better in all aspects of it. She has won 5 of her 7 fights by decision. Her one loss came to Megan Anderson when she got caught with one swing. That was pretty much it. She's coming off a really good main event in a fight night against Ladd, who honestly I thought was the better fighter in that. But Norma took it to her. She looked really good. She's going against Macy Chasen, who's lost 2 of her last 4 fights. 4 of her last 9 fights have gone the distance. I fully expect this thing to go the distance. And in my opinion, this is Dumont's fight to lose. So getting her at even money to win by decision. This is by far my favorite play on this card.
I love that. I was actually looking at that one a lot, but I like to keep mine to 4. It was play 5. It was the last one to get cut. My last play, I'm going to the main event. I'm taking the dog. I got Gagey at +142. And this is how I look at it. Oliveira is only 41%. in getting people to the mat. Gagey, former D1 wrestler, takedown percent is 73. You look, I mean, who is the real fighter to get him to the ground and control it? Habib. Call me crazy. I don't think Oliveira is on the same level as Habib. I don't think he's going to be able to Gagey to the ground. I think Gagey is going to be able to keep the fight standing, using his punches, be able to connect. And also, we need to remember these front kicks by Gagey. He's going to attack that front foot, attack that front shin, and make Oliveira very uncomfortable. I love Gagey here, and if you're really feeling spicy, Gagey by knockout. But I'll just play the money line plus 142.
Yeah. Dude, I'm with you. I love Charles Oliveira. Like, he's one of my favorite fighters to watch. But this is just a terrible matchup for him. Like, it really, really is. I think Gaethje, like you said, he's good wrestling. He's going to attack that front leg. More importantly, Gaethje has some knockout power, man. He can, if he sees an opening, he's going to take it. It's funny because Oliveira hasn't been respected by the books.
Not at all. Not at all.
In this fight, the books decide to over-respect him and make him a minus 190 favorite. This, to me, it should have been very, very close to a pick-em. I think you're going to get a lot of value there with Gaethje, so I'm right there with you.
And Leo said it. Leo, myself, and Kyle, we're going to be doing pretty much a weekly, anytime there's a UFC card, I think we're going to be on. Just break down the fights, giving our picks and everything on BTV, so make sure you guys check that out. Leo, why don't you tell everyone where they can find you on Twitter?
Head on over at the BTV Greek. You can check out all of my stuff right there. Make sure you guys follow at BTV Bets, though, because that's really where it's at, guys. We have so much programming. Eric's on so much of it between the NBA show, the MMA show that we have going on now. You're on like 5 different things at this point. You got a USFL show with XFL Jim. I mean, that dude's mentally unstable, so definitely check him out too. There's just a lot of good stuff. I tell everybody, instead of like trying to organize your thoughts, just turn on the notifications and check everything out, because we got some horse racing stuff too that hits fairly frequently. I mean, you really can't go wrong with BTV.
You know, I'm happy to be part of a family. You know, you guys took a chance on the asshole from Chicago, so I appreciate the opportunity. We're going to be I look forward to talking to you and Kyle a little bit later. Thanks for coming on, my friend, and we'll talk soon, dude.
Sounds good, everybody. Thank you.